So my friends, here we go. Better Cat enters in Germany. We go to Germany now. And with what ball? I will enter in the country of Germany with the Wilson Evolution. But it is not the Germany which you may think of, you know. But first of all, we are a little bit outside of my city. There it ends. That is my city there. And now we have to overcome those mountains, you know. So I have to pass VIB Ridge Court. That is from around 130 courts, which I know, the third highest. You know, that means we have to pass now 1,180 meters. And from there, the route starts again. Very, very tough, very, very brutal. You can imagine to overcome those mountains. And there are different ways. Normally, you will not see in the middle, not this, not there. You will not see it from here. There is another mountain, you know. And normally, you know, between those two, there at the end, there I should drive, and then I can overcome this very brutal, very tough, but that I don't do. That I have shown you last year. But now I will go through the woods and short track, but very steep. So that means to come to the outside, then to come to the enter in. There is an original ring, basketball ring, maybe I show you that. And from there through the woods, around 1 hour, steep, steep, steep. And then the journey starts again, and then we are one time out in Germany. There it is very, very nice, but it is not the Germany which maybe people think now of, especially from the US or even from Germany. I would say 98% of the Germans have never heard of the name where we go now. But you will see that. And I know Germany, why? Because I was in every federal state, only I think Mecklenburg-Vorpommern. All other federal states in Germany I have seen, I lived there, I was there, and on and on and on. And so I know Germany very well. Now, let's do it. Very, very tough. Heavy, heavy back, you know. With the bicycle, you have to be very fit. And I have the street clothes on as always, you know. Because I learned it, so you know, I was growing up with people who were there in the 60s, in the 70s, where no internet was, nothing, and there they also had this on, you know, normal clothes. You know, people tell me nowadays I'm not sporty. Why? Because I'm not in a sport club, so I'm not sporty. Or when I drive with bicycle, yeah, but you are not a bicycle driver, you know, because I don't have the functional over and underwear on. There are people who drive once a week or once every 2 weeks and have for hundreds of dollars this functional thing on, which is good, but such people tell me I'm not sporty, you know. They drive 1 hour in 2 weeks or 2 hours, 3 hours, and I drive up to 30 hours a week, you know, 30 hours a week, but I'm not sporty, you know, because I cannot be sporty, you know, that it is, but I have to drive, overcome now this mountain, and from there the route starts hours again, but I'm not sporty. Wilson Evolution, let's enter in Germany. So my friends, now we arrived. No, we are not here. But now that was a very nice journey. I show you something. Watch, here we are at the bus station, you know. Here you have the own thing to sit on, you know, or to lay on the bench. And here we have a nice football field, you know, a nice church. And from here I came, you know, I took today the short track, all on the main street there, you know, because there you can for almost all drive a bit down and there is no wind. But this I have never shown you. That is very cool. I will show you at the other time, but now watch. Here we have the football field, you know, that is an original, or with table tennis. Here the nice church, and there is our entrance. From here in I will overcome the mountain in the short track, otherwise I would have to pass another hour here, then to drive up a complete miss round, you know, which we did last year, because there it was closed last year. And here we have another station that you have to see. That is the village here, you know, the old stations. That is cool, huh? A library, you know. Now tell me, in the US, do you also have this, you know? They would, I don't know, steal it, or? No, not everywhere, but here we have books to read, you know. No one steals something. It's very nice. Here with the little the pull-ups, you know. Yeah, and here is an original ring that I will also show you. And there where the houses are, there we will drive in now and overcome all of this. Very tough. And then I will pass VIB Ridge Court, but a street beside I will not show you. And then the journey starts through the outside of my country, and then we enter in the other country of Germany. And here is like the street, you know, the main street. You normally drive a bicycle way, but that is in the fields, and in the fields there is a lot of wind, and with the heavy backpack, because that is a really tough route to come there to Germany, and there I will save all energy what I have, you know. But now that is brutal now. That is the steepest of them all. And there would be another way up, the normal way, the normal street, but that is not allowed for bicycling, because they have always said over decades it is so steep that it is not allowed to drive by bicycle. But that was back in the days where the brakes of the bicycles were not good. And they have own ramps if cars, if something happens, that they can drive up beside the street ramps. I was driving there when I was young with the Porsche, you know, with a friend of mine. His father had the Porsche. He drove there, I don't know, with 150 the mountain up. And I was 15 years and I had to sit in the Porsche in the back seat, and my head so, because you have no much space in there, you know. That was cool. And there you are not allowed, you know. There you have to pay many euros, you know. They see you there, and of course they see you there. But that would be the best route, even if it's steep. But now there will take you to the chest. 1 hour up there now around. Very tough with the heavy backpack, you know. I have a lot of to drink in, so 5 kilo maybe, and around 13 kilo the bike, plus the 5 kilo. And now very steep. But we will see, and then on it goes on, the journey to Germany. So my friends, now we entered in by the church. Here is the main place. But I tell you now, I pushed the bicycle, because here to drive up makes no sense today, you know. There you have to be a little bit intelligent, because what do I have from that steep part? That my legs are over, and that I don't do, you know. I go through the woods, and from there I drive. But otherwise you have no chance to come to the place. But now I can show you the ring, what I have told you before. The original, here we are. We are there, watch that ring. That is an original, or when you throw a little bit right, the ball is in there. That is a cool thing, or but you see how steep this is? That is very steep. I don't know, maybe 24%. I would say, and that we don't need, you know. So, because I have this heavy backpack, you know, and that is not a bicycle there. So I push it up, and then in the woods with the chest. So even with walking tough, you know. But I'm around 10 hours on the bicycle today. You see that is very steep, you know. There I have shown you last year how steep this is. You know, and with 10 hours on bicycle, the goal today is to play street ball. There comes then the entrance to the woods. Hopefully it's open today, but there should be no problem normally. But you see how steep. Last year it was closed because there was water and oil was falling down even to the train track, and so they closed all of that, you know. That was closed for all the time. You can only do it in summer. You see, even with walking it is tough. Heavy backpack. But now we are almost there, and then to the chest. No, there comes the first doggy. No. Here are always people with doggies, you know. Most of the time without a line. No. 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 Goes exactly in there where I have to go. No line. Shit. That is always the problem here in the woods. Especially on wood sides where not many people go. You know. And here you can read it. From April to October with bicycle. A lot of time is not allowed. And now here comes the stones, you know. Our friends, the stones. And from there I will take you to the chest and then we will see us on there. Wow. But I slip out. Oh, even to stay here. With the heavy backpack, that is too steep, you know. So a few parts go, but the steepest. I swear you. Because then you fall down, you know. That is so slippery on the stones. But now I walk a bit because I'm as quick by walking as with driving. And with this heavy backpack, completely different if you have it 5-6 kilos lighter or heavier, especially with that stones, you know. So I go a bit. You see all is wet, you see that? Whew. And now this passage here, that is so steep, I tell you. But still, it is a short trek, better than to drive the long route, this hours more, to the other route, you know, where you have to make the round up to the mountain. We then also drive up always. But that here, that is like Höttinger Höll, the steepest part, you know. But that is like 28% now steepness, you know. But with stones and thing, and with the heavy backpack, you know. But I need it that I have something to drink. Boah, brutal, brutal. Boah. Watch how steep, maybe boah, boah, heftig. Scheiße. But that is the way what we have to do to come to Germany. No one said it is easy. No, it's not easy. It's a tough route. The third highest chord which we have to pass, you know. Brenner is the highest Italy. And then, and the second highest is Watergate chord, but only a few meters like here, you know. Across the, you see how slippery. With the basketball shoes on, you know. Brutal. What a journey again. But there in Germany, what a journey again, and Germany, that is a little bit similar, you know. What a journey, but in Germany, where we go, it is very nice. Now it goes better. All wet, you know. Underband, overband, hand rinning up. So heftig. Brutal with the heavy backpack. Go on. Brutal. A little bit wind. So heftig. But when we are on, then I can go to the main street, and there almost everything is fine to drive, you know, beside the cars. Here is also steep, but it goes, you know. It's relaxing now. The relax part. The little steep is relax. Brutal. But better than the other route, you know. Even if you think I'm crazy, you know, that is the better route than the other one. That is too long, you know. Because don't forget, now we have it all just, you know. 25 or 26th of August, and now it is more colder, and now you see how high we are. You see that maybe, you know. And the problem is, it gets colder. The morning 10 degrees, 8 degrees, so very fresh. There you don't want to drive, because it's not that good, you know, for long routes. Long means 8 hours, 10 hours more. And the problem gets when you arrive back home now at around 8:30, it gets dark, you know. It's not like at 10 o'clock like in July or so, you know. And then in darkness, you don't want to be on the street with cars driving with 80, 100 beside of you, you know. Come on. That is nice now, you know. And the sun more warm now. This is important, you know. Now I'm completely wet, you know. And now when it has over 20 degrees, then my t-shirt dries, my underband dries. I have no space to take all dry clothes. I have one t-shirt that more I don't have space, you know. And so, you know what I mean. And so I don't have those 12 hours which I had in July, or that you don't have anymore because it is dark, you know. Total. And over the mountain, there the journey starts once again until we are in Germany. And then from there we have to pass a lot of things, you know. A small town, you can call it a small town. Total. Wow, heftig. Really, really heavy. Now I will drink something. Do you know why I said save the energy? Because on such routes I'm not here to bicycle. That is only my tool to come to the street ball court, you know. I'm not here to bicycle today. Can you imagine that? I'm not here to bicycle, but I drive that route. And I'm not sporty, you know, what people tell me. I'm not sporty, you know. That is cool. Boah, asphalt again. You know, on asphalt, you don't lose the energy like on those wood things. Boah, you know, and from all down there we came. Wow. But now we see us then. Now I sit here, I came up here, there's few meters from where you have seen me now. Now I have my vitamins, bottle, the ball, camera equipment. A few minutes rest, you know. Watch that view. Oh, amazing, or? But now we have to enter in, you know, in the over mountain, you know, at VIB Ridgecourt. Oh, almost there, you know. And there, that mountain, therein, the last one from left down, there is the city. Then you can imagine what meters we did, you know. And now I have to go on there. So I drove on now, more far away, and now we pass a tunnel. Not this tunnel, there, a small tunnel. Wow. But still in the country here, you know. Long route still, you know. But then it goes flat, and then I have the main street with the cars, you know. There you can drive all straight. It's only that to come up, but we are almost arrived. Almost the border at 1,180 meters. And now the tunnel, the old tunnel. You see what I have to pass to go to bicycle to come to the courts, you know. Steep again, you know. And now I go on, and then we see us. My friends, a no-go court, you know, but we go on. So my friends, now we arrived at VIB Ridgecourt, not Germany. VIB Ridgecourt, third highest where I play, but now watch the area. Golf course. And behind those mountains, these are the mountains over the mountain where I have shown you at the beginning, where I've told you I have to come over the mountains. Now these mountains all there, they are over where we came over Mountain Balm, you know. And now I drive on a few more hours, main street always like here, traffic but quick, and then we arrive in Germany, and then we see us. That will be great. So my friends, now we have to change the complete video. Why? I tell you, with bicycle to come there is too dangerous, you know, because last time I was with car there, and now with the bicycle I was now on the main street. I drove in back now to the village, you know, but there the main street, completely crazy, I swear you. All other streets are more normal. Really, that is now no joke. That was only those few meters there. Hey, so small. They were coming with 100 km/h LKWs, so close. No, that is the whole route until to there, 1 hour. No, no chance with bicycle. You know, that is really, when you do that, you know, I thought it works. There is another route in the trees, but there I need another 3-4 hours, you know, and that is not possible on one day. I have to pass this street with bicycle, or you cannot do it. And the other route, you know, no chance on one day. And so we stay now at VIB Ridgecourt. And now that is an own video, but I also want to show you that when you have a feeling it makes no sense anymore, or you have a bad feeling, wait, then don't do it, you know. Very important when you are young and you see my videos or such things and you have the same, it doesn't matter in what situation. When you say, boy, your feeling is now not good, don't do it. Turn back and go back, you know, it's no problem. That is always the better solution. So now we are here at VIB Ridgecourt, the third highest court. Here you see, wow, the Bentley. That is the area of the richest here, you know. Around the city, you know, we are more outside of, you know, but there is now the richest, and that you will see. We have seen before the golf club, but now I show an own video about the VIB Ridgecourt. There were VIBs a lot, you know. There were Olympic Games back then, and I have shown last year only the main capital, but now I show you a few other things. The lake, the pool, maybe some rich cars, Ferraris, whatever. Now you see there comes an LKW. But I tell you, that is now nothing, you know. There was before crossing a Polish LKW. He was driving, I don't know, 80 km/h, a few centimeters beside of you, and then you have to say no. And yeah, but here it is very, very beautiful. The court itself is one of the nicest panoramas with the church. I'm here since the early 90s, but the court itself is absolutely not that amazing because these are portable rings and boards, portable. We are now at the VIB Ridgecourt, the richest village maybe of them all around, you know, in the near area, and they have portable boards, you know, on the carpet. But the view is great. I will show you now something, we changed it, but that is really very, very cool. Watch out what you will see now, some of the most impressive things of them all, because here live the richest people, you know. And here is skiing in front over the Eni disc. And there is also a lot of tourists, but that is for the VIBs, you know. You have to have money or you have to go home. That it is. But yeah, we change it. Hope you are not bad at me. So Germany will not come. Can only go there with train or car. Car don't have. And so with bicycle, no chance, no chance, you know. With car it looks always different than with, wow, you see, Munich, BMW, Munich, Bavaria, you know. We come from there. So we enter in now and then you will see. Yeah, I show you now a bit of the village, you know. Because here you have those traditional houses, you know. These are apartments. And we are now on 1,180 meters, you know, the third highest court. And there, I don't know if you see it from here. We go to down. But there is a lot of nice things, you know. Here we can bath, you know. I'm here since the late 80s, early 90s, you know. Here is the drain out, you know, but here it looks not that good. But the thing is what I'll show you, that you see that, you know. The Birkelstübel restaurant, you know. There I go there, you know. We make it from there. You see now a few things, enjoy it. Then we play street ball with the Wilson Evolution, and that it is something. Sometimes it comes other than expected, you know. To me, if there are many views or not, I mean, if people go away after 5-10 minutes, you know, to me that makes no problem. I'm not there to making a video for views to generate money or so, only to enjoy, you know. And now it changed, and now I enjoy the village, and the same feeling I will give you. But here is really beautiful. When we are here and the weather is so nice, you know, I have watched now all without the camera. I took now a little bit time. They have a lake with an own pool. That is amazing, you know. That is, I only have to watch out of police, you know. That no police. Here are the older things, you know, traditional old things, and then the newer things. And they are really the richest, you know. They were coming rich, famous people, you know. The Chinese restaurant. Here the tram. You know, I was most of the times coming by tram here, or with car. Now we have to check. Thank you. Here we have to pass. That is nice. Servus. So, but I swear, you know, when we are entering in, it's very beautiful. So enjoy, relax. Behind me the car is waiting. The street is so small that he cannot pass me now, or he's a tourist. But you see now, here it goes more in the court, I want to say, in the village. Hey, here we have a basketball. You see? A private basketball ring. There I was skiing, I was always here swimming, and it's very cool. So, you see? That is more modern, you know, with the color, the painting. But wait, whoa. Good with a mountain bike. Wait, here you have to see you see? The hotel on there. That is a cool area. I was also in there in a hotel for us alone, the biggest here, you know, complete alone in a, I don't know, 8 etage complex, complete alone. There we rented a car. That was a big car, you know. You see, there are small things. That is all touristic, you know. That is all touristic. You see, it's very nice. There you can check in, you know, to stay here a few days, especially in winter. Winter is here a lot. What is going on, you know? I have here a lot of history, you know. One time I was swimming with a girlfriend, and then we went out too late when they closed it, and the problem here is the last train to the city, boom, was over. And then from late evening to the next day in the morning, there is no train anymore. So you cannot come back to Innsbruck, you know. Then we had to call someone extra drives up here to the mountain who checks us up, you know. That was amazing. So I have a lot of history here, you know. So, but I have to watch where I show you. Here enters in the main thing, you know. So wait. The cars, and hopefully no police comes, because then they check me up, you know. But I have to show you the lake, the golf course, the pool. They have mini golf. They had also other mini golf. You see? There we were in, you know. The old houses, you know. Panorama Hallenbad. Indoor swim area. Amazing, right? And a lot of tourists. Summer. Be surprised of the court, you know. I was really frustrated now. But what shall I do? But now I'm happy, you know. After a few minutes, we can be happy again. Here you have an Euro Spa, there is all here, you know. All is here. And the car behind me does not want to go forward. For sure a tourist. 100%. From which country? Netherlands, Germany. You see how beautiful that looks here? So now we will see, where does he come from? Germany, Munich, BMW. So geil. So, now it's very cool, you know. You see this left house, these are also complete traditional things. You see, looks really cool. Germany, you see there are a lot of Germans because they all enter in here, you know. That is a area where they like it, you know. So now I have to wait. You see, from here you see to the ski thing, there you can go skiing. You see on that hill over there, there are also skied. And not far from here, they had a Rollbahn, you know. That is not that far, but that does not exist anymore. That was a slide to sit in, to drive up with a lift. And that was cool, you know. That was pretty cool. In the early 90s. Now we are here by the church. From here we have a view now to the left side, to the court, to the swim area, and then I go to the other side to show you the lake. Now watch. Here it is, that is the main thing, but now to go swim, that would be amazing. So, now, here is the court. No one here, of course. 1, 2, bam. Now tell me, here is the court. What an area, or? Then you know with the church here, when you play there, what view you have, you know. Here you can relax, you see that? And there I am since the late 80s. I know that building since the late 80s. And that is all swimming area, indoor swimming. And there you have the water slides. But those they built, I don't know, around in the late 90s, I would say, you know. Back in the days there was no water slide. When I was a child, I had not the opportunity to go in there. But now they have a open slide and an indoor slide. And you can watch from in there, from the glass. You lay down in the indoor swim area and you can watch out to the street ball court. Or football, and in winter this is ice skating, you know. And then you can walk here. And there is the main old city where you have all the restaurants, the bars, and where all the famous people came, you know, from skiing, football, Olympic Games. And there you see the ski lift on, you know. And over that hill, over that green, there I came up, and there is the lake, you know, with an own private swim pool, you know. That is really VIP. But you see the rings. That is really a shame. In such an area where they have so much money, they put in the cheapest boards and portable things of what does exist, you know. I know that they will always put it away in winter, you know, they do it indoor. But I mean, in such an area, watch at such places, you know. There is also then tennis courts, there I also was in back in the 90s, that I've shown you last year. And there they could bring on a real Spalding portable one, you know. I know schools where they have Spalding portable boards and rings, you know. Also the physiotherapy in my city where they have Spalding boards and rings portable, you know. Wow. That is cool. And there at that last mountain there, under this, there it goes to the city, you know. And here are the other mountains. And there is also skiing on, you know. And I mean, with that, there is amazing view, you know. An amazing view from that street ball court. And we will go now over that green hill where the people come. Or you can drive down a tunnel and then you see the lake, you know. Wow. That is amazing. You see the people with the dog are playing. That is so a nice area, you know. So now I'm happy because here that the weather is still so good, you know. These are the last days where you can do such journeys because then the weather changes. Hello. Here with the church now. That is now nice. And no one here playing street ball. The net is away, you know, no net also. Can you imagine? Then you know what basketball means in that village, small city, you know. There you have to bring your own net, you know. Your own net for that. Wow. Here since the 80s, you know, here the little animals in, you know. Wow. VIB Rich Court. You see, and there in front are the tennis clubs, there it ends. And there I will drive home around, not the hill down the steep. That is a more longer route. Also a main street, but there it goes better, you know. But well, here with the church in the background, watch. That is beautiful, or? Wow. That is really nice, you know. Last year I was there when it went dark, you know. But that was also, but now tell me, like in a picture book, you know. Here the doggy with the frisbee, that is nice. Here the swim area, you see they sit outside. Here you can lay down. Wow. And I swear you, I was walking here in the 80s, you know. In the 80s, in the 90s, in the 2000s, all the time. And then later we enter in here in the court. And here you see now, these are the mountains over the mountain, you know, what I have shown you before. That is cool, you know. You hear that? But from where? From where? What was that for language? I don't know. That was not Romanian, that was not Hungary, or Bulgarian, no. That sounded more like, I don't know, Finland or such a thing, or I don't know. But now we go on and then I show you. So my friends, here you see the ski lift, you know. Also in summer, you know. Watch. The kids ski school, you know. And these are the old traditional houses, you know. They were very traditional many decades ago, and here you see it now. The hill what I have shown you. There you can enter in, you know. It's really nice. And there you have all restaurants where you can sit, you know. Then you sit in and then you can go up, you know. Now it stopped, something happened. I don't know. But now we go on and then you will see. So my friends, now we drive over that hill what I've shown you, and there you have those both sides, you know, from that village. And there is the lake. Wow. Beautiful lake, you know. And mini golf. And a lot of such traditional outdoor restaurants where you can eat ice cream and things and stuff. You see, now we border it, you know. Now we are on the hill. And that is cool, you know. So wait. Now we can watch down to the swim area and then to the lake area. That is cool. On this little overhill. You see? It's really a cool area. And from here I see down now, you know. Watch to the houses now. There we came from, but I have to be a bit careful because of the stones, you know. Wait. But I don't fall from my bicycle. Here are the animals, you know, where the people are staying. And here you can relax. Now tell me. That is cool, huh? And here we see in now to the thing. Wait, I have to lay down my bicycle. Wait. So here that is cool, or and that you can turn, you know. You see? Wow. And now That the cat enters in unexpected, you know, with the Wilson Evolution to sit there. Don't have to drive another hours, you know. Amazing. I now watch. That is cool. The left part of this village, city, you know, call it what you want. And there is the swim area. There we can watch in, and there is the streetball court, you know. That I will show you now. Wow. It's also a mental part because I was expecting to come here. That is half of the route, you know, normally when you want to enter in the other side in Germany. And so the mental part was, yeah, now the half thing, there is no how it is called, you cannot be more happy, you know. And so now when I know, hey, that was only the half route, I was expecting now the tough thing, and now there is nothing anymore. I'm here now to play streetball. That is great, but wow, that is amazing. And now we watch down to the people. That is really, really cool, you know. Here it is. There we can watch to the water slide, you know. When the people slide out. But I go a little bit more in, then you see it better. Wait. So now we have it more closer. And you see the people are laying down here. And here you know how I would like it to come out now from here. And the blue one opens up only every hour, one time or so, you know. But they hurt a bit, you know. And there you have circles where you can wait and stay. There is a bench in, and that is cool at night. You know, you can also be at night. And there is an outdoor pool where you can swim outside of that indoor building, you know. And the indoor water slide, now someone comes. You will see that person, the kid, you see? That is cool. The indoor slide you can use all the time. You see? But that is aluminium, and when the sun burns down it is very hot, then you have a problem, you know. And here the blue one, you see, there you can sit in. That is also cool. I was in there. You see that? That is nice. You can stay there, you know. You see that there? And then later on you slide down. And there is the court, you know, the streetball court, you see? And that is amazing here, huh? With that view. That is cool, you know. And now we are on that hill what I've shown you, and over the hill there is now the lake with also, now I have to turn it again to the other view. And that I show you when we are there. Wait. So my friends, wait, to make it more clean again, you know. So, we leave the left side, and now here is the animal park, and then we enter into the lake, you know. The other side with mini golf, the private swim pool. There a friend of mine lives exactly beside the lake, you know. And here we have it, you know. The little animals. That is nice, huh? That is cool. So you have it all here, you know. They are nice. There you have plants, you know. And now over there, we come in here, you have the, how are they called? The Esel. You see them? How are they called in English? But you see what a beautiful area that is, you know. Now they're running down, you see? Wow. You see? Running. Wow. Now they come up to us, so that is nice. And then you see the private pool in there. You see that? That is cool. Then street ball, you know. on that board. No net. You see, here is now the other side, but we have to come down. And then you see that is amazing, you know. Wait, here also someone sits and enjoys, you know. That is really cool. With all the nice plants. Here is a cow. And now we enter into the lake. You see it from here. That is amazing. Wow. Here also was so often. Wow. One time we were on that lake at winter ice skating, and then because it was not allowed, you know, and then it made kruk, 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 and the ice broke in. Can you imagine that? Here we have it now. Watch. That is the lake there. It's far away now with the white Engel, but we will come closer. And there is the left side of the village, you know. And there they have also here, the last one in there, there is the big hotel, the biggest, where I was in complete alone, you know. And here it is, you know, the lake. But it looks much more spectacular when we are downside then, you know. And here, there you can see to the mini golf, you know. Here they have a miniature mini golf. They had also a real mini golf, but that does not exist anymore. I played all of them. And that is nice, you know. Here, everywhere you can enjoy, you know. And now, herein, you know, there is the mini golf by Seespitz, you know. That is the quarter here. There is the miniature mini golf. And we enter in now the left side. There is the main street. And there is the mini golf, also the club. And I mean, when you see that, it's really cool, or? So I go down and then you see us. We see us. So my friends, now I walk downside. And now we enter in the main thing. And also here, you know, lives a friend. And he was in basketball champion of the whole Federal State back then, you know. You can check him up. But don't want to be in the video. Could play very good, you know, that you can believe me. Very, very good. But maybe, you know, when I see him now, then I say, now the camera is on you. Now we have to play in, you know, that the people one time see a really good player. Because with me, they never see a good player, you know. I'm a free-time player who never learned it. I'm a street player. But he is a club player who won the championship here in the Federal State, you know. And now here you see the Bergland, 4-star quality. And these are all those spas, you know, to relax, recover. Here is also basketball, you see, a private one. And here you see much more tourists, but now it becomes very cool when we are at the pool. Then we go back, you know. I drive now there and then I go back. Then you see the cool thing. Let's do it. My friends, I'm on the way there, but now you see the horses. We also have that. I think in New York that also exists, or where you can go in and drive with the horses. Now watch. People sit in at the back seat. That is cool, or? And then you can drive there. That is cool, or? But not good for the horses. That is the other part, you know. But here it is traditional, you know, traditional. So my friends, now we arrived, watch. That is the swim area. And now tell me if this is nice or not. There is the swimming area and there is the pool, you know. But that is, you know, there you have to pay. And the lake, wow, that is amazing. Now you have seen the small extra pool, you know, for the people here. And there is the mini golf course, you know, the real golf course, you know. Now watch, here is the pool. That is a nice area, or? That is amazing. And here you can play real golf, you know. Well, I always wanted, but I had never the opportunity, you know. Yeah, watch, that is cool, or? Wow. That looks amazing, or? One time I would have the opportunity in Africa, you know. But there I was too little, they didn't let me go alone outside, you know, somewhere in Africa. But here I show you that. We cross the street before I was driving down here. There you see the golf course, you know. I also know one who plays here golf. It's also cool, but wait, I drive a bit. You know, golf back then was always for the richest. Tennis was high, but golf was always only for really, they have watched out that they only have the VIPs in there, you know, in the 90s, 80s. Nowadays that has changed, that is more also for normal people, but back then they have really watched out. I was a big golf fan, Titleist, you know, but I have known a guy who played with Titleist balls, you know. I always was a ball fanatic, and I got a Titleist ball. And one time that I will not forget, I went home from school, and then I went into my room by my grandmother because I lived there by her. And then there was a cap on my bed, a new cap, you know, a winter cap. And I saw it and I didn't believe my eyes. It was a Titleist. And I thought, where in the hell did she get this cap? And she said she has found an own golf shop and went in and thought she buy me this cap now. Wow, Titleist, you know, that was amazing. And now here we are, the golf club. You see? But watch out that we don't get a ball to our head, you know. That is cool, huh? Here you can play golf the whole length, you know. And these are the other mountains, you know. That is not my city. My city is over that mountains, you know, where I've shown you. We have to overcome all. And these are the new mountains there, you know. But that is a cool area, huh? Now you have seen that side also. We drive around by the lake. I show you the mini golf. We go now to the mini golf. That I show you. The miniature mini golf. And also a table mini golf. They also have, you know, we played there. I have a picture from there. That was 2007 to 8 to 9, around that time. I have to watch out by the Seespitz. You know, that is cool. So we have to cross the street because there I came from, you know, from before. So display is my mirror now. The only reason why you need a display beside the lens. Now we check in there. There is beach volleyball, you know, and there I was as a kid, you know. Then there they have bars, you know. There is all in. So here, beach volleyball, you see, but now I have to go down because here is not allowed to drive with bicycle, you know. I mean, it's not allowed, then people do it still. That is now cool, huh? Immediately. That was now perfect, you know. That was now cool. But you see, and there you can enjoy, relax, you know. Very nice area, and there were the Olympic Games, you know. Olympic Winter Games. We had 2 Olympic Winter Games in my city, and they made it also here because that place is famous for winter, you know. Winter, I don't know. But now left is the lake. There we enter in, and then we will play the street ball. That is amazing, you know. And maybe the guy checks up, you know, but he has to work. He will not come in front of the camera, you know, because then we would have great basketball, you know. Then you could see a real dunk. He jumps on into the ring. So here with the nice, how it is called, the ship, the small ships. Now watch, that is nice, or a real natural lake. You can go the whole round, you know. Other side is more quiet. Here it is better. Very peaceful thing here. And here you see the hill where we overcome, you know, where I was sitting on. Over that small hill there is the court, you know, with the swimming pool area. The other side of the village, you know. Yeah, and when you live here you have a lot of tourists, you see. You can sit down here. You have all here, you know, supermarket, pizzerias. They have an own casino, you know. That I've shown you last year, the capital. Should we go one time, the route, the capital route an own casino, you know. The village has an own casino, yeah, that is true. Then you can imagine the status what they have here, you know. They have an own casino, but they are not, how it is called, they are not in English, how do you, here you see them on the board, the two girls, you see them? One is laying on the board and one is driving. Yeah, they have an own casino, but they cannot bring on the Spalding portable ring and board. But for a casino, the money is there, you know. Wow. Amazing, or? And there at the end, you know, the last mountains there we come more to my city, you know. And these are complete other mountains, you know. It's a complete other area where we normally never are. But very relaxing. There is the mini golf. That I show you now. There are for sure a lot of tourists. And then I show you the casino, the main part. There will be a lot of tourists where the VIPs all were, you know. There are famous buildings, actors, sports stars, all were there, you know. And of course, you know, because that is a prestige city village. When you have money, you have to come here. You know what I mean? That it is. But here it is now, you know, the mini golf. But this is for tourists, you know, not for club players. But it is very nice, you know. It's really, really nice. The miniature mini golf, you see? That is a cool thing. But I will not know how much the price will be. Here is a, whoa, read that, €5.50. That means, now tell me, €5.50 for grown up. When you know my videos, in my city, they have closed the mini golf. They wanted to put it away, but they have now let it there. But there is no shop anymore, nothing to drink, no one who puts you the rackets. You have to go 50 meters more, and then you have to rent the rackets, and you have to pay €10 extra, which you get back when you give back the rackets, and it costs €8. €8. No one there, nothing. And here at VIB Rich Court, where the riches are, you pay only €5.50. Then you can imagine what this is in my city, you know. Here you see them again, that is nice. You see, there is modern meets old tradition. These are the table mini golf, you know. It's also cool, but I like more the mini golf, you know. Oh, that is amazing, you know. You see, there we have the nice girls here. Here, a luxury car, you know, Luxembourg. You can imagine. There are a lot of big cars, I tell you that. Here, the Seespitz, you know. You see, that is also modern with the glass meets traditional. And, you know, these are all expensive things. But I will enter in now in the main part, show you the casino, an own casino there, you know. And wow, now an ice would be good, you know, such a thing, wow. Yeah, and then you will see a lot of tourists, and then we go play street ball, because we have time now, you know. Now I'm not in a hurry. It's also a long route to come back around, wow, maybe, 4 hours around I will need to come back to my home, but it's not that far, you know. I can drive down a lot of things, and then I have the bicycle way, the lights are full or still, so no problem. And here, more old style, you know, apartments. That was back in the days, 70s, you know, that was the modern thing. That is cool, you know. Now we enter in and then you see. Yeah, but it's very cool. There we came, you see. The 4-star what I have shown you before, that is really, really cool. Thank you. You have seen the nice girls, or that I have to show you. Of course, or when you have nice girls, then you have to see that. So watch, that is also nice here with the stone and the water going out. Like this it would have looked at the area where we would have best in Germany. Not where the court is, but I know a place where it also looks like this. But you know, not possible. Only, but I make all with bicycle. You know. Here is an old house, you see that at the background. The wooden houses. And here we enter in now, you know. See a lot of more tourists. That is nice here, you know. You see, here old meets new, traditional. But before that was heavier. You see the traditional thing? That is cool. But I don't trust in the water, you know. You know my story. But when the car was coming in the woods, have you seen that before on camera? But on such a steep way, I couldn't believe my eyes that a car was coming. Here you see lasagne. Lasagne to eat, 18 euro. You know, 18 euro. Here the traditional shops, you know, the houses. You see, that is very traditional. Oh, the doggy. Such a big doggy, or? You see, the golden doggy. That is cool, or? And you have to understand, today is Monday, you know. What do you have? Yeah, Monday. So we are under the week, where normally, you know, all people are working. And you see still there are many people in there, you know. Here it's also like when we drive to Brennerau, you know, at Matrei, the main street, they are also famous. We have all the plants at the street by the houses, you know, where I have shown you my lovely side of Italy, you know, the Madame Court. So here you can buy all the cappies and stuff, you know. You see here the glass, Sport 2000, you know. Again, well, in Zillertal, you know, where we were the last time, also Sport 2000. Kühdai on the border where the Ötztaler Radmarathon is. Also, you know. So, do we check out the prices here? What does it cost? 1,000. But I cannot read what it is. What's 1,555. But I don't know what they mean, you know. But expensive, you know, expensive. The prices here are crazy. You see, that is now our other church. You see so much going on under the week, you know. Under the week. You see. And you have to wonder, because such styles that was famous in the 80s, in the early 90s, you know, there such things were big and they still have kept that people are coming, you know. Because nowadays you can fly in everywhere where you want, you know. But still the people want to see such traditional things, you know. And that is cool. And now I show you the casino, you know. There is the main the main train station where I told you. We were there and said, no, it is dark, no way down to the city. Then we sat outside and have to call a person. Then you can imagine how happy the person was to drive up this steep path in the middle of the night, you know. That we can come back to, oh, now we have the music, like Harald Baldier, you know, or all the travel YouTubers, you know, Kurt Cass, they all run away because the music rides, the music rides. Then they cannot. Here we have it, you see, that is the casino. An old traditional house of wood, you know. And they have made it completely modern with that thing, you know. That looks cool, huh? And here is the entrance. And I've known a guy who played so much, you know, that he was forbidden to enter in here, you know. He was not allowed to come anymore. Can you imagine that? And here is the main station, you know. There are all the shops there. You can eat ice, you know, and on and on. The hats. But we go now back. There is also for buses where you can drive down with bus. That I also did. But that is something what I don't like, because they drive down the steep street where I am not allowed to drive. And yeah. So we go back now. You see, here is the main entrance. And we go a little bit more right, and then we enter in the streetball court. And do you think someone is playing there? I have never ever seen someone playing. Only little kids, tourists who play a few balls, but nothing else, you know. Outlet store, you know. 10 euro. That is cheap. T-shirt 10 euro. For here, very cheap, you know. You hear the Italian? We're in Italy. You hear it? But now in Rimini, that would be great. There are no streetball courts, you know, Jesolo, Rimini. In those areas, they have great asphalt outdoor courts by the beach, you know. Swarovski. You know where Swarovski is? I've shown you that. Where the swim court is, you know. Where now this, where they are based, this village has played against Real Madrid now. I also have shown you that on video, you know. You also have seen Mbappé, you know. You see it all here, you know. And here you see, you can enter in there. Restaurant. And in winter they had always sculptures, you know. There's ice sculptures, animals from ice that looked as a kid very spectacular, you know. And these are the old traditional, you know, with the plants. But you see the details are all good here, you know. What they have made. It's really, really nice. That is really, really cool. The nice girlies, you know. Here the church. That is now famous, the left one. That bar I can remember always, you know. Also in the early 90s, these bars, how do they call it? I don't know the name now. They were there. You see that? They were, now it is a shop. But back in the days, you know, in such buildings, the après-ski, you know, they always had there the parties in. You see, here supermarket, M-Price. There you go down, you know. An M-Price underground, you know. That is a cool thing. And here, 5-star, you know, 5-star. And there all the VIPs were in. They had pictures on there, but I think they have put away the pictures with all the people, you know. Because there were a lot of people in which nowadays the young one do not know anymore, you know. That is the point. Back in the days, you were saying, "Wow, have you seen that guy was in and that actor," you know. But those pictures I have shown you, you know, what they have there inside. You see, these are more older style pictures. You know that this more like a spa, you know. And here you see there's another of this bar, these round areas, you know. And now I've heard someone is ill. Go away, quick, away, you know. Don't pass. You see? Here, Illusion, the dinner show, you know. But that is Casino Innsbruck, you know. The ski bike, you know. And you see here to the house on. But we go now the way back to the streetball court, you know. But in there, you know, when I see it, and I will tell you which people were all in there, you know. Since 1516, you read it on there, 1516. And here we came out to the entrance to the swim area and to our streetball court. So where was the guy who was ill? Go away. You see, all nice made, you know. That I have shown you last year, you know, when we were here. Very nice area. And now we play street ball. and then I only have to cross street to drive a bit upwards. Then I can drive all down, and then 2 hours when I'm down, 2 hours around to come back on the bicycle. Yeah, 2.5 hours when I'm down. You see, here it's more quiet, and here you see the other church where the street ball court is. So I hope you liked it. You know, now we play with the Wilson Evolution. You know. There comes the guy in with one of the best balls ever, Wilson Evolution, to a VIP rich court where they have an own casino. Then he has to play on a carpet with the cheapest portable rings and boards which you can find anywhere, you know. That is really cool, right? So here is the swimming area, the main entrance. That is also, you know, very, very expensive. You see? The nice people. That is cool, huh? So I show you the swim area. There I don't know how much you have to pay. Maybe it stands out, but that is really expensive. Really, really expensive to go in one time swimming. When you eat then, I don't know, pommes and ice, then you have to pay really, really much, you know. Nice people again. And you see, you can imagine, you know, why VIP rich court. And so when you drive up here with train and train back home, go swim one time, eat something in there, and then maybe you eat ice here at a restaurant or so, then you have to have enough money by you, you know. But we will check out the price list here. Olympia, all Olympia, because of the Olympic Winter Games we had. You know, here someone lays, you see, in the sleeps here in the sun, that you can do for free. But I was in there every decade, you know, from the 80s, 90s, 2000s. Now, yes, no prices, or Wildwasserrutsche. Every half hour it is open, the water slide, you know. But the prices, no prices there. I will check it out in the internet. Then I tell you what the price is to go in there. You know, wait, I sit down here, eat a bit, and then I tell you the prices. Oh, that is amazing now, you know. Last time we had so hurry, but it was so cold here, and now we can relax, you know. Wait, so my friends, now I've watched, I've eaten something, what I have in my backpack, you know, only small things, but the price here in, you know, in the swim area, a day ticket, and that you've seen is not big. That is not like how it is called, the tropical island in Berlin, or such a big hall. That is only that small swim thing, you know. But on weekends you pay €21.50, you know, €21.50 for one person. Then you can imagine, then you eat something in there, another 10-15 euro, then you pay, you go eating an ice here, and then the drain, and then bring in 100 euro, then you are in, you know. That is amazing, right? And in that area, for example, is the Geissens, you know, they were here. They are famous in Germany or in German-speaking things, and they are always there where the glamour is, you know. When a party, glamour and things is, they are there, you know. They live normally at Monaco. I was also there where they live, you know, I've seen that. And Monaco, other area, you know. And other example, you know, sport here. There were Champions League champions who won the Champions League, you know. Legends who meet here, who won all in football. They were also here, you know. That is a point where all the people come together. And the other example is, you know, boxing world champion Christina Hammer trained here at that village here, you know, because here they had a sponsor which is, I think, a millionaire, and he built it up all here and made for her the best training session. And if you don't know her, she was world champion in boxing, and that was then the fight of the year or fight in the history of women's boxing back then, when the GOAT, you know, Clarissa Shields, the GOAT, you know, greatest woman of all time, I would say yes. I'm a box fan, you know that, but I don't watch it anymore. But there I have to say what she does is amazing. The fight was champion versus champion, Clarissa Shields versus Christina Hammer. And for that fight, I think she trained exactly here. The fight went down. Oh, where was it? Was it Madison Square Garden? I cannot remember now. But that was where the whole world in boxing watched out. And for that fight, I think she trained extra here in that village. From here to the biggest boxing match in the whole wide world, you know, when that fight happened. Then you can imagine. You can meet her here, you know. Can come here and watch her when she trains. Then she walks here beside of you, you know. When you are more often here, back in the days, you see her private here, you know. Then you can talk. That it is here, you know. Very, very cool. So now we enter in, no one playing, of course. No one playing. But nice people here, you know. Here, Rückenwind. That was a famous place. You have it in the city where you can buy school shoes, you know, running shoes. I always bought the running shoes by the company of Rückenwind, you know. So now with that panorama, tell me, here, that is now amazing. Here you come for the panorama. One of the nicest panoramas which you can imagine on a street ball court, you know. I know 130 courts, but I told you that last time the Z4 court, that is the best of the best. But here also, that is a top 3, top 4, you know. Watch. Not the court itself, the panorama, you know. The panorama. Here the people are in, I show you that, when they watch out from the swim area. Whoa. Like in a picture book, you know. Wow. That is so amazing. And I was here in the 80s, you know. I was ice skating here in 1990, 1991 at that place where the football is, you know. And now the nice girls with the bikinis and the tangas, they watch out now to us when we play now street ball and transport it to the whole wide world. Here you see them. I also was often in there, you know, laid down in there. Here with the water slide, and now the famous basketball ring. And now completely too high, you know, that you can change. I don't know why they made it so high, that is too high, you know. But hopefully there is something in. Yeah. But it is also shaking, you know. I mean, come on. You have seen now the area, an own casino and a Sportastic, you know. A plastic board. Those very slim rings, no net on. Why? But I told this story, and here it is to the asphalt, you know. It's cool, then we can play on asphalt. But I don't know who has to buy the ring, you know. Maybe it is the Hallenbad, you know, the swim area, because they put it in there, what I know. Here you can play from here. And so maybe that is the reason. There you never know. Or is it the village? But I mean, when you have an own casino, then you could bring on here the best Spalding board of them all, you know. the Spalding was the gold standard. Bring on a Spalding board. Wow, but that is now amazing, you know. But the legs from the bicycling are a little bit over. Here we have real carpet, you know. These are like the tennis courts. It's not the best to play, you know, of course. But I mean, wow, that view, you know. Where do you get this, sir? That is amazing. For that you come to enjoy. I have shown you now when we were standing on there. We were by the church. We were in the main area. And we were over the hill where the lake is, you know. Now you have seen all of the VIB rich court. And now you can imagine why VIB rich. Because they're rich people, they are VIBs, and it is very expensive to stay here, but the street ball is still for free, you know. That is the amazing part. And no one plays. And I'm here now with a Wilson Evolution on a complete too high ring. That ring is even higher. I mean, what is that for height, you know? I don't know who makes this. Yeah, it's tough to say without the... I will feel it now by playing, but it looks completely too high, you know. And now the wind comes again, you know. But wow. Now, let's play Wilson Evolution on VIB Ridgecord. And better you hit the board, because otherwise you can collect your ball, you know. It rolls away very much. But nice one. Here you see it, Wilson Evolution. Still looks so fresh, but I played it so often, you know. I tell you, we played it so often on asphalt, but often means not for 3 weeks in a row, but I played it in wet, in such a little lake I put it in, you know. You can remember that. That was the winter edition. Completely, I put the evolution in circumstances which you have maybe never seen before on YouTube, you know. But still looks great. And now I would have been at asphalt, you know, at the other court in Germany. That would be asphalt. I mean, still airing, you know. All is great. It has grip, you know. It's really one of the best balls which I know, but it's an only indoor ball, you know. But here the jumping is good, you know. And when you dribble it, oh, you feel that immediately, you know. That is amazing, you know. Amazing, the babbling in. And when you get this ball for around €50, oh, get it, that is amazing, you know. Amazing. So now you have seen a few balls and you can imagine now. They have still those rings in, you see? Wait, for the net, you see that? And that is very loud, here it is. You see? And there the chance that you can scratch it is also there, because they are still on the back side, here not, you know. And you see the board, that is like the old the lost ring court, the old one, where the old board was. I've shown you that. Now we have a metal board with space between, but when you throw at it, there is no rebound. You see that? That is like a wet paper, you know. So here you can always hit to the board, it will go in, but the ring, you see, that is shaking all, you know. And such a board at this court, you know. But I mean, here you only have to watch, then all other things are uninteresting, you know. Because from the rings and boards, this is maybe the lowest. VIB Ridgecord has the lowest quality of ring and board of all 130 courts maybe. And also the downside is because when you don't hit it, it's so small, then the ball rolls out, you know. Here where you can crush to the wood, And here are small stones, and then when you have the indoor ball, you can also scratch it, you know, even if you have carpet in. But these are the small stones. Then it rolls here, and you have such small stones also in there, you know. So when you don't watch out, you see that? Wait, you see? And I can scratch the ball. But yeah, I mean, it's only the few. Only the few. Now ding dong, ding dong. You hear it, the bells. Now I think it is already 4 o'clock or so, you know. That means so long that you come here. Then you can imagine, this is half of the route to come to the German place where I want. And there you can only drive the main street, otherwise no chance. But now from here, you know, that is now amazing. What a panorama here. Amazing. So my friends, so now you feel already that it gets a bit darker. Here you also have to be careful, you know, because the smartphone can fall in here, and then you also have a problem, you know. Now the wine starts, and you see here is best example. Here is a court where normally nothing would happen to a good indoor ball, because here you have nothing which is aggressive to the ball, you know. But the problem is when it rolls out, and that can happen here, you know. And that is the thing. Sometimes you have a good floor, but that is not a good floor, you know. Because you see here, there are also those things in. But I tell you, it's better than nothing, you know. Better than to have no place. But a panorama, that is the thing. These are all tourists who walk here, you know. Every day you will find other tourists here. And that really looks like back in the days. That is all the same. That view with that thing, that is all the same, only the water slides, and that a glass, I think they renewed it, but all other is completely the same like 35 years ago, you know. In 1990 I was there. I was in before also, but there I cannot remember, but from around 1990, 91 I know it, you know. There I have it in my head. And so, but here the people are not playing, you know. I don't know, you see it, I'm so often here. Now it is afternoon where the people have free, around 4 or 5 o'clock now, but still no one here. Best weather, but no one comes by. And of course the boards, there you can imagine. And here the asphalt, but you know, here on that side is not that good, because here there is a, how is it called? This is a, yeah, is this still asphalt or concrete, you know? I don't know. But you see there are also holes in, but the problem is it rolls out to these stones, and, but you know, of course we dribble it. But there is sand in, you know, you hear that? And there you have to be more careful, because always you can slip out easily, you know, because they fill it up with sand, you see. And this sand is very dangerous. There you see often in my videos on asphalt courts, where you think normally on asphalt you can, now a nice girl comes again, where you can normally run fast, but when sand is on asphalt you slip out so easily, so you have to put down 70% from your speed or 60%. And when I jump, especially there, because for example here, if you would jump here you have no space, and here is the other ground, and then you will see I'm only concentrating, not jumping high, not running fast, only that I land very safe, and then it looks very slow in the videos, you know. But in the winter and summer editions, there I give more speed, you know. But one ball here, and here you see there is a Kabelbinder. You see that? That is also amazing. You see the Kabelbinder cable, what you will see now. I tell you, here you can go completely to the board. I throw it with full speed to the board. Almost in, but that is full speed. Normally the ball would jump back 4 meters, you know. But watch again. Wait. I watch to the camera, you know, I have to watch to the ball. But I try it very fast, you know, wait. You see, that was very fast. Normally that would land 2 meters away. But here you can do it on those things, yeah. But it's a nice place, and I have to drive down then this, over this hill, and then I'm very outside, and then drive all over that hill back before I take the shortcut over that mountain in the woods. And now I drive complete other direction, but main street down, filmed last year, and then all back to the city, you know. But you know, you feel already, even if the sun is there, that it gets a little bit, that the late afternoon evening starts, you know. And only the street down, but I have the light, but they are also driving fast, yeah, and that is enjoyable here, you know. Really a cool place. But I mean, when you live here, you will every single day you see other persons. Every day there are other people in the swimming area. You feel always different, you know. But yeah, the view amazing, you know. The view to play, it is okay, but the view is 1+, you know. 1+. Wow. Watch once again, but now a big route home. Only a little bit playing, you know. Also here I don't give 100% because I need my legs and concentration. Also a very important factor. Don't forget this. When you drive now a main street where it is really steep and the cars are driving their 80 km/h and so, you have to be concentrated, especially when beside of you it goes down, you know. There is the asphalt and it ends with a few centimeters, and when you think, but now I have given here everything, I'm completely out, I'm sweating and on, but then to drive down is dangerous because you need to be concentrated, you know, to make no mistake, because they're driving really fast. And yeah, so I hope you liked it from the nice area with our Wilson Evolution. Only a short playing, but that it is on such courts. Unexpected, but now we have it also on the video again. VIB Ridge Court. Yeah, it was a nice day, completely unexpected, and that was nice, you know. And so with the Casualties t-shirt with my Rihanna hat on, the Evolution and indoor ball with the normal jean, but basketball shoes that I have, you know. These are the best what I have, the big shoes still. Those are for long adventures with bicycling still the best. Better than skate shoes, better than the AND1, better than the other basketball shoes from Amazon what I got. They are the best. And that you feel also when you're at home, because this fine material, this rubber, when it is hot, you know, that is a vibration perfect, you know. Wow. They're on we late before, you know. Enjoy the few moments. Wow, cool, very cool. I have the sun cream on, and now I drive home those many hours, you know, around 3 hours, 4, I don't know, depends. Yeah, I'm very slow, you know, because I have no helmet. The old brakes, they are over 30 years old, 35 years old almost. And yeah, now I drink something. Wilson Evolution, one of the best balls in the game. We see us again at the other court, I don't know where, but for sure a nice one. And I will show you also new courts, or courts which you have not seen in my videos, that also will come. Wow, one round, until next time, bye, and sun, where is the light here? Bye and ciao. My friends, now I'm on the way home, but now watch that view. Wow, do you see that? But my city is in that direction, but these are the areas where we also drove. Then you can imagine that side there, how far this goes. Oh, that looks amazing from here, from that street, you know, because I have to make now a turn down and then drive all back. This is longer, but the better way now to come back home, you know, on the real street. But boy, there you see all the villages, you know, so much outside. That we all drove, you know. We all drove of this, you know. That is really, really far. Till the end.
And I always do it big because I can.